Hello.
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 Hello. Hello. Hello, Ben. Hello.
Hello. Hello. We're very dramatic tonight, aren't we, darling? We've got.
Very dramatic.
I love it.
I'm very excited to be with you. It's been
Oh, me
ages.
too. It's been too long, hasn't it? Far too long.
It has. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a lovely evening and a bit of a catch up over the cards.
Yes, I'm very excited about this little tag that you've created.
Yeah. Well, this only came to me the other day. When did I message you? It was only this week or something.
Earlier in the week? Yeah, it was this week.
It was. And I said, how about doing a tarot holiday? Now, when I first thought, is that the right thing? Because it makes it sound like I'm having a break from tarot, doesn't it?
Oh, no, I know. When you said, I was like, isn't it, where's he going? And then I thought, oh, is he talking about me? Because I haven't been on And I was like, oh no. But then when you said it was a tag, I was like, oh, this sounds quite cool, because especially after January, it's a bit flat, isn't it? January. So
well, I just felt, I just needed, I think, I really need to have a holiday. I need to just get away. And so I started thinking about holidays, and I thought, are there decks that describe certain holidays, or are there holidays that may reflect in your decks? Or do you look at a certain deck and get a certain holiday vibe out of it? And I thought, this sounds fun. Ben, do you fancy coming to join me live while we talk? Because who do I know that's got a couple of decks?
A couple? He's seen the collection, haven't you, Richie? So
I have. Last year, when you opened up your cupboard, and it's so neat.
It's gone downhill since. I mean, when you come this year, I think you'll see there's been quite a few.
Have you had to build an annex?
It's going to happen, I think. It's going to need to happen, isn't it, really? Either that, although I'm on a binge year. Not a binge year. Well, it is a binge year. That was a Freudian slip, wasn't it? I meant a depth year. It's more like a binge year.
A binge.
Yeah. January has been a bit.
You're on a depth year. How's that going for you?
Horrendous. I was all right for the first couple of weeks. I was doing so well. And then like halfway through, I just went crazy. And it must have just been a slip. And I've managed to get a little bit back on track. Don't know how long that's going to last.
Don't blame yourself for this. You did well to do your weeks. You said, and then something came along that you needed to get.
Yeah, the intention was there, you know. I mean, next time at least I'll know I need to try and actually follow through with it. But it was there.
Well, I applaud your efforts.
Thank you, Charles.
And so are they stuff you've ordered, or are they Kickstarters that you've backed?
Well, actually, it was a bit surprising because a load of Kickstarters came in January. And I think, I don't know if you had the same thing, but they just all seemed to come at the same time.
In the same week.
Yeah.
Too much, isn't it?
And I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, oh, you know, I don't know. And that's probably why actually I didn't order decks, because it felt like I'd already ordered a load because they all arrived at the same time. So it was just, but yes, I had a few Kickstarters. So that was lovely. How did you have any?
Yeah, I got one deck for Christmas. And I thought, no, that's it now. And actually, I started to declutter in a box there. Where is it? I've managed to
very well.
clear the stuff that I've never used, and I'm going to be selling it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was all holier than thou about the whole, thinking, oh, this is marvelous. I'll get them shelves cleared by the end. And then something happened the third week of January, and I'm waiting for it to arrive in. It's not going to be a small box, but a bigger box arriving from the States with a couple of decks.
I was hoping you might have had it today, because I thought you could have used it for one of the ones that prompts, actually. I thought, oh, I know what deck he's going to pull out for this one. But obviously not.
You're right. And I put it back again because I thought people know me too well.
True. It's true.
But keep watching this space. And it's all sounds very clandestine, isn't it? Secretive. But all will be revealed when it arrives in the next couple of weeks. We'll be doing some walk. Perhaps you and I could get together and we could do another kind of
love
opening.
That. Yes, let's
do that.
Let's do it. Absolutely.
Should we say hello to a few of our lovely people here? Because let's not ignore, because Ren was here. Hello, Ren. You were the first one. Hello, Ren. Lovely to see you here. Hello, Lynn. Fabulous
Lynn.
Friday to all. I like that vibe. I love it there.
What's
Hello,
happening?
Peter. Hello,
Peter.
folks. Lovely to see
Lovely
you,
to see
Peter.
you.
And Ren's having a chuckle there. And Marita's here. Hello, my lovely. Nice to. This is Ben.
Oh,
This is
hello,
Ben.
Marita. Lovely to meet you. Oh,
Lovely to see you here. And we're going to be talking about lots of sort of different stuff. How many have we got? 6 hashtags, or well, it's not a
yeah,
hashtag, it's 6 categories today. So
yeah.
if you want to do a VR response to this, just put hashtag, what did I call it? Hashtag tarot holiday in. And I'll link the categories at the bottom of this as we go. But the idea here is we're going to have a bit of a holiday. I was going to put a holiday shirt on.
I know. I was looking for a holiday shirt. I couldn't find one.
And I had one that's not been ironed, so I thought.
Where's Peter? Is he not? Is he slacking?
He's gone shopping, I think.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Let him off.
Actually, I do the ironing. But I hate ironing. I only iron shirts. I only iron things that can be seen from the waist, from there to there.
Oh, well, there's no point, is there, if people can't see the rest of it?
I do buy sort of non-iron shirts as well.
I don't blame you. I know.
Ironing.
I'm all right. I mean, it's okay if you've got something to watch while you're doing it, but it's just so boring, isn't it? That's the thing.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
Put an audio book on or something to do it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Hi, Lisa. How are you? Lovely to see you here.
Hi, Lisa. Lovely to see you.
Everyone else that's joining us, coming in, lovely to see you here. So yeah, if you want to join in, it's hashtag tarot holiday. Ben, we're going to go through our first category, if that's all right, and then we can chat and have a laugh as we go. So our first one is an exotic location. So a deck that reminds you of going somewhere exotic, or definitely abroad, somewhere where, you know, that kind of vibe. I'm going to let you go first on that one.
Yeah, I struggled with this one, Richard.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I've only ever been abroad to Spain, would you believe? That's all I've ever been to. But I found this little deck, and it feels erotic. Well, not erotic. That's the wrong word. It feels very abroady to me. Yeah. And it's called the Nomad Soul Warrior Tarot.
Ooh.
And I don't know, when I look at it, I feel it's just feels foreign, but in like a...
Show us some cards and give... Oh, yeah.
And it's got like this... I don't know, it feels erotic as well. I don't know, it's like, but yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And because I love anime kind of style art as well, which it is, but it's like that desert kind of feeling, you know.
Are all the skies blue in it? I've just noticed there's a lot of blue skies.
There is actually, and it's color coded with the cups are like, you've got the dark blue skies, and then the ones you've got the red skies and stuff like that. So it's really nice. So it's color coded. I don't know what's going on with the pillars. There's a lot of pillars that look like that. So actually this is pretty erotic, but it's just really weird because I noticed that tonight when I was getting ready for this. Do you know what I mean?
Just put it up again. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not sure what the inspiration for that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was like a holiday kind of exciting one kind of thing. So
loving it.
Yeah.
And where did you get that? Is that independent?
This is an independent one. I got it from Etsy. I don't know if it was a Kickstarter, but I bought this from Etsy. And you can actually buy a little book which has a story with it, and that's why I bought it, because I like the idea of the story that goes with it. I haven't read that yet. That's what I'm...
You never read the books. Just saying hello, waving to a few people. Sorry to interrupt you there.
So yeah, no, that's the only really erotic kind of... I say erotic. We're not calling it erotic. Oh, we are exotic. Why am I saying erotic?
Well, apparently that's the point that you've got erotic pillars going on.
Yes.
So I can see why you could be fazed by that. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I like that. So it's got a good holiday vibe to that one.
It reminds me of, is it Death on the Nile, that film, where they're on that kind of like desert and stuff like that. So
lovely. Thank you very much. I just noticed Beth asked, can an exotic location include a different time period? Of course,
Yeah, that's a good
absolutely.
point.
Yeah,
That is
you
a good
can put
point.
that one there. You can add to what you like to it. There's no hard
Yeah.
and fast rules on this one there. Muta says Tarot of Dragons has Chinese theme, Sufi Tarot, Middle
Oh,
East,
yes.
Cannabis Oracle. Yeah, it's got a very big Caribbean.
Yeah. Oh, it has, yeah.
Yeah. And Lisa says, that's an interesting deck, Ben.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, I've broken the rules to start off by even going there. Is that I've actually picked an Oracle deck.
Oh,
we can do that.
you? I mean, I'm, you an
Me?
Oracle?
I know. Well, this is my go-to, one of my go-to Oracle decks. I have accrued a few over the time, but there's only probably 3 or 4 Oracle decks I regularly use. And the one I'm going to talk about is this one, the Kyle Gray.
Oh, I love that.
And the reason I picked this one is, as you said, it's a really hard category. But I just felt that a lot of the people in here, because when I think of exotic holidays, I think of the people. And I just really like that you've got a whole range of people from different faiths, different cultures. And I just feel like if you met these people, that's what would make it an exotic location. It's the people in there. I particularly like, the Traveller. I love that card.
Oh, and isn't the cardstock beautiful on that deck as well?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have got this, and it has come under criticism as well about some of the characters that it's shown. But I just really like it. I just find it a very friendly deck to work with. And I love this one, the Trader. I love this card.
Oh. And you know that deck works really well when you read it in conjunction with tarot. I think. It's like, you know.
And also because obviously you've got things like Canunos in there and other sort of more pagan-y stuff, but then it goes into I'm just trying to find them. You've got your angels in there because it's obviously Kyle Gray, which is lovely. Lots of different angels there. But then it goes into sort of like times of the year as well. And I really like that.
Yeah, there's a lot to it, isn't there?
There's an awful lot to it. So you've got your winter and bits and pieces there. But I just pulled out the exotic because I just thought it reminds me very much of the kind of people, you know, like when you're abroad and you're either in a hotel or sitting outside a cafe having a drink, and you see all these lovely, wonderful people going past with doing different things. And that, to me, that's an exotic holiday, just watching people and hearing the different languages. And
it's fascinating, isn't it? Like, you know, when you and they always seem to have more hair as well, don't they, abroad? I always think. Do you think?
Well, I just think everyone generally looks healthier because well, you know, we've probably been out in the sun, so we've had if you're relaxing on holiday,
I know what you mean.
All your woes have gone away for a little while, and everyone just feels better looking, and you feel better in yourself, and you're more open to just spending time watching and noticing people rather than head down, go for it, go to work, come back again, don't you? So
yeah, definitely. I always go, you know, like when I went to Spain, I was like, first time I'd ever been abroad, and it was like I felt like so pasty walking up the street because like they're all like dead tanned, aren't they? And everything.
Yeah. And of course, then you got the because you're probably showing off a bit of flesh and stuff like that, and
I was. Yeah,
it's sometimes hard going on holiday for the first 24 hours. Like this, I don't. Why have I gone away? Just the whole flying, airports, transport, trying to get there that you don't know how it works.
I know. I wish they'd hurry up and invent something like Star Trek, like a transporter where you don't have to travel. That would be so much better. Just transport me there, it's fine.
But of course, people do say it's the travel that broadens the mind, isn't it? But not when you're in an airport. I have to say, waiting to get on a plane.
And you're seeing evil. Yeah, I know. And you're just standing there and you just want to scream.
Do you ever do that thing where you're sitting there in a departure lounge watching people and you're trying to work out who's going to sit behind you or who's going to sit in front of you, and you're like, I really hope they aren't sitting behind me.
And they've got like a really loud cough, and it's like, oh god,
very loud tablet or something, very loud ringtone or something like that.
Oh, and the cues as well. I mean, have you ever seen Death Becomes Her, where
Yeah.
I think it's Goldie Hawn's at the wedding, Madeline Ashton's wedding. She's got that handkerchief and the blood's coming out of it because she's so annoyed. That's how I feel at an airport when there's a queue. It's like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's before we've even got on a plane, because don't get me going on flights, because they just terrify me. Absolutely terrify.
Oh, I know. I'm sure a bird got stuck, went through the engine, but the propeller, because I looked out the window and I just saw a load of feathers, and I was like, oh my god, something happened to the, and I was like, we're going to crash. It was fine, but when you just panic, it's horrible, isn't it, flying?
It's that whole thing about not being able to get off and help yourself if there's a problem. That's what I have. Yeah, that's negativity. Nice thing.
I know. What are we on about? We're about holiday.
Hashtag down. It's all my fault. That's all. Lots of lovely comments. Ren likes that one. Marut has that deck as well. I didn't think of that one. Hello, Chris. Lovely to see you.
Hello, Chris. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you here. Yeah, it's the vitamin D, says Beth there.
Yeah.
And Marisa, since I'm American, I guess Druidcraft would be an exotic location. Yeah,
I did think of that one. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There's some beautiful vistas and views and stuff there. That's just, I was really hoping the toddler having a meltdown doesn't sit next to me. They always...
I know. That's what would happen to me, Beth. It'd be sick over me and everything.
Yeah,
it'd just be
loud, or the parents would be sitting behind, and the children are sitting in front, and they're kind of communicating across your head.
Totally get that.
So anyway, this about how it kind of doesn't sound fun, all that fun.
Maybe we should have called the tag something else.
Hello, Tony. Where are we off to? We're off to wherever you want to go, whatever
you want us to be.
It's a cold old February here in the UK, so we're going to sparkle things up with a bit of heat.
We're opening our minds, Tony, to anything. Well, not anything, but holiday.
Right, are we ready for number 2?
Yes.
Number two is a deck that represents a staycation.
Yes.
So staycations have become quite popular in the last few years because of the whole staying at home lockdowns and things like that.
Yeah.
So I've done quite a lot of traveling around my parts and my country. Came to see you, Ben, in a kind of last year in a kind of staycation.
We had a lovely time.
We did have a lovely time in your lovely village. Is it village or a town? It's a village, isn't it?
It's a village. Yes. Yes, and it is a village. I don't know what I'm trying to get at. And yeah, it's nice. It's the only thing, it's cut off a little bit, isn't it, here? Because it's just a bit in the middle of nowhere, isn't it? But it's
that's what keeps it safe from outsiders, I think.
Yeah. And I wasn't the best tour guide because I kept.
You were very good. Apart from you assumed I knew exactly where I was going, it just left me wandering aimlessly around there. So yeah, sorry, Beth. First it's erotic pillars, now it's airline anecdote.
Oh no, it's always going to go to hell.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh dear. Right. Shall I go first on this one?
Yes, go for it.
So I've gone something that's what I think is quintessentially for me staying at home. And I live in the wonderful town of Eastbourne on the south coast of England, which is a rather lovely Victorian seaside resort with lots of grand hotels from the Victorian period. And a very nice seafront with lots of palms and gardens and the sea and a nice sort of bandstand. So it's all very kind of, I'm just trying to think, Victorian kind of films and stuff that might have that one in there. I'm trying to think, can you think of any films that would be summed up in, Ben?
I'm thinking of Hammer Horror, but those are horror films, aren't they? It's not really
a bit like that sometimes, yeah. But it's got this very grandiose kind of Victorian, lots of white buildings, lots of sort of almost like Nice it's a bit like Nice in that kind of Victorian stuff. But anyway, so I've gone for something that I thought sums up the place where I live, because it's often, and I've gone for and I've lost the box. No, there it is. The Wisdom of the Depths Tarot.
Oh, I've not heard of this one.
Because this was a lovely Kickstarter, and it's by the lovely Lynn Furman.
Oh, you always
this
have
is-
ones I've never heard of, Richie.
Do I?
You
I don't.
don't quite believe that, do you? But yeah,
It's the backs of them. So, and what it is, it's kind of
I like it.
Victorian collage of kind of nautical things and sort of seaside pictures.
Oh, it's nice. I like that.
And some of it's just very silly.
It's
But
different.
this to me really reminds me of kind of the area I live in and the sea, obviously, as I said. And it's just a bit quirky, and it's a bit, and where I live, particularly just down the road, is the big city of Brighton. That's very quirky, Ben. If you've ever been to Brighton, you'll know that's very quirky.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have puffins that big that they ride around on in Brighton. But no, so I kind of picked this deck as a kind of representation of being at home, visiting a English seaside resort. You know, some of it's a bit tacky, some of it's quite old, some of it's so. I like this card here.
It's nice for you, though, isn't it? Being by the sea as well.
I love it. I couldn't live inland.
No.
I get a bit funny after being inland for a little while.
Yeah.
So after a few days, I get a bit weird. A bit.
Yeah.
I'm like a mermaid. I need to be going chucked in a bath or something like that.
It's like Splash when you're with Rick.
It's just. Yeah. So there we go. So that's that deck there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Oh, I like this one.
Sorry. I've never heard of that deck.
Do you know what? I haven't picked this one up for long. It's a summer deck. I often use it. And I often use it when I'm going out to the beach and doing some readings and taking it. So I take this deck with me.
Yeah, it's very nice.
So there we go. So that's my one. That's my staycation deck.
Okay. Lovely.
Let's see what you've got, Ben.
Well, so you'll know this one actually, because I feel this is quintessentially British to me, because I like forest holidays and things like that. And this kind of reminds me very much of like a forest holiday, like Centre Parks or somewhere like that. And it is it's the Folk Tales Oracle.
Oh yes,
by Hannah Willow.
Yes, lovely Hannah.
I love this because you've had Hannah on your show as well, haven't you?
I have. Lovely Hannah, when she first was doing her decks, and it's beautiful.
It is, and it just reminds me, like, you know, a cottage away somewhere next to the sea, and it really reminds me of that British vibe in the countryside, because I love going to the countryside. I love it in the countryside.
There's a place you go to quite often, isn't it, with your family? Is that a seaside, or is that
Wales, Barmouth in Wales? Yeah, I love it. I love it there. It's so nice. It's just relaxful, isn't it? You know, being by the sea or being going to the forest. And I've been on quite a few forests.
That's a lovely deck, isn't it? I was looking through it the other night. I'm thinking I must use again. It's an interesting deck for what time of year. I always find it sort of quite a wintry deck for some reason, even though there's a lot of sunlight in there. But because it's all night time, I tend to think of winter time with it. It's beautiful.
I love the artwork. Have you rounded your corners, Richard? That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And it works so much. I personally really like it because I'm just not used to having cards with pointy ends.
No.
It just stops me completely there. I love that wisdom card. It's gorgeous.
Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, definitely that one. It really reminds
As you say, it's got that kind of Centre Parks cabin in the woods, kind of in a non-creepy kind of way.
Magical kind of.
Good choice. I like how we've gone for two very different themes on that.
I know. Very close to where we live, really, isn't it? That kind of.
Well, that's it. Yeah, we're taking, I think, vibes from where we are. Glad to hear you've explored Ben's Village. Yes.
It's true, I'm not the only one anymore. So into the thing.
Rich says, Tarot of the Pagan Cats. It's full of house cats. I love it. And Tony says, staycation is probably Wildwood as I live near the moors. I did think about that one.
Oh, the moors.
But I've got
Wow.
all my Wildwood set up to do a year in the Wildwood. So the actual thought of, but it would have been a really nice deck to choose that one there. And I was thinking Groom Wilkins for the same reason. Yeah, that works. That does work. Lovely suggestions. So that was our second one, which was a staycation. So I'm going to ask you, Ben, have you got any plans for holidays this year or getting away for
I
a few days?
haven't. No, I haven't. And no, that's true. I haven't this year, not yet. I just haven't thought that far ahead.
It's
But
early in the year yet, isn't it, to be planning?
yeah, probably somewhere quiet and nice, you know.
Yeah.
And well, we were going to do Glastonbury, weren't we? And we can still do
We're
that,
going to be,
can't
it
we?
was been about now we were going to go, and then
Yeah,
things
things come up.
conspired against us, unfortunately.
It did.
But we must try and
Yeah,
get
do that because that'd be. I'd love to go there. You know, that's somewhere I've always wanted to go. And
I'd
never
like to
been.
watch you. Sounds a bit weird, but I'd like to see you experience Glastonbury.
Yeah, for the first time, definitely, because it's such a magical place. I imagine, you know. So, yeah.
And also some of the places around there, like Avebury, the Rings, and all
Yes.
those places as well. So
Yeah.
we'd have a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to sort that, Rich, won't we?
We will. I'm gonna have a little sip. So cheers. I'm on the pep. What are you on there? Coffee.
Coffee. I know. I was looking for a margarita, but we don't have those where I am. So.
Well, I've given up milk for this treatment thing. I've got to stay off dairy for a week, which has been all right because I've been on the almond milk, but I've switched tea for coffee, so I've drunk a lot of coffee the last few days. So I'm just
topped yourself up,
ready to go. Absolutely. Okay. Hello to anyone that's joining us. Please feel free to comment in here any decks that you think that you would have that would work for this. Just a reminder, we are doing, and I've lost the tag. Let's find it, get it back. We're doing tarot holiday decks that remind you of certain holidays, certain themes, giving a bit of sunlight, a bit of a getaway at this time of year, which is do you find this time of year a little bit just, oh, can we just please get on with the spring?
I've had enough now of winter.
I've had enough of it. Exactly.
Yeah. Dark nights, isn't it? I think it just gets you in there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the dark nights. It's still quite cold here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And it's kind of like there's a hint of some wildflowers beginning to come through, but nothing much to speak of. And it's a bit like, it's a few more weeks to wait, and it's just like I'm getting a little impatient, I think.
I did see some small snowdrops in an area I walk in, and I was like, oh, it's a sign. Spring's around the corner. So
it's not far off. It's just having gone through the whole winter, it just feels like such a long time. So here we go. Ben do a great alcohol-free margarita.
Oh, I have to have a look at that. And gins, if they can be called gins.
And gins, if they can be called. What's your holiday drink? Do you have a special drink on holiday?
I just like red wine, really. That's what I think I'd drink. And I think this, Richard, I drink socially rather than, I don't really drink a lot, but when I'm out socially, it's red wine that I would drink.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I never had a drink when you came, did I actually? And I wish I had them now.
You didn't. We went to that nice pub there.
We did. And so it would be red wine, definitely.
Red wine. I like to drink lager when I'm on holiday. I don't normally drink lager, but there's something about having a nice lager.
Nice cold
lager.
lager.
The local beer, I think, is quite nice as well. And I wouldn't normally drink that when I'm away. So
no.
Yeah. Or Marita's drinking cranberry juice with a cherry lime mix in it. Nice. And Rensselaer in Virginia, the weather is nutty. Had the aircon.
Oh
wow!
Isn't it mad?
Mad.
It's freezing here, isn't it? It's freezing because we can't put the heating on here.
We can't afford the heating, but we'll buy more tarot decks instead.
That is exactly. You know, there's always something we can do as an alternative. And it's cheaper.
It's cheaper and much more entertaining. You know?
Yeah.
We can build up a wall of tarot decks.
Exactly, Richie. Well, that's what I'm aiming for. So a house made of tarot would be great, wouldn't it?
House made of tarot.
You thought there was going to be a whole wall here, didn't you, when you came? Because I remember you saying, "I'm quite shocked that there's not like an annex or something that's attached."
Yeah, I thought when you opened your cupboard, you were just going to walk through into another room like a TARDIS.
Yeah,
And it would be not alphabetic, but sorted into themes. I'm surprised
it's
you didn't sort
terrible at
them
them. I really need to sort them out, and this might be a good video, to try and do it as a video, but yeah, it's terrible. I don't know where anything is at the moment. I've really got to sort it out.
Do you know your tarot decks by the boxes or the spines, or do you have to?
The boxes, because I'm very visual, so if I see the I can
So
tell
if
even
you
the spine.
organised your boxes in colour order, like a rainbow.
Yeah, that's true. I like this. I've got a size problem as well because I like the size that all the same size. So it's like if you've got ones that are up and
Oh, I see
down.
what you mean. So you got like the big box ones, and then
Yeah,
that's quite upsetting, isn't it?
But then, like, if you've got a couple that aren't very themed the same, but they're the same size box, that's a bit annoying, isn't it?
They just haven't thought this through, have they?
I haven't. No, they don't think about these things. It's disgusting.
Oh, hi there, Hershey. Good to see you there.
Hey.
And Tony says cold bottle Miller Lite or San Miguel for our holiday lunchtime beverage.
I like that, Tony.
And Ren says it was freezing here not 10 days ago, and it will be again in 10 days ahead.
Oh, right.
Oh, I feel you. I feel that it's horrible here when you have that.
I feel the pain.
It's like when you go shopping when it's cold and you wrap up, and then you go into a shop where they've got the heating on, and it's like,
no. You're just constantly undressing, aren't you? And then going back outside and freezing again. Yeah.
First world problem. So. Calla says, I live in California on the coast, so it's warm and sunny pretty much every day. How wonderful. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Would you miss the seasons though, Ben?
I think I would, because I like summer, but then I like it in winter when you can get cozy and watch a film, and get your cover around you and stuff like that. But yeah, it's nice. I do like the seasons.
It would be quite nice to be able. I do like the seasons, but there's also something quite nice when you go abroad, waking up knowing that it's pretty much going to be a nice sunny day, and you know what the temperature is going to do.
Yeah.
You don't have to pack a cardigan and a jumper and rubber Wellington boots and an umbrella and a scarf and a t-shirt and sun cream just in case, because you often get all of that weather in one day.
I know, it's true, isn't it? We don't get that here.
Hello, Kelly.
Oh, Kelly. Hello.
And Beth says, I love the seasons. It is nice. Yes, absolutely. Nice. And Kelly says, I'm from New England, so I love the seasons. And you miss them.
You do. You do, I think, definitely.
Okay, so let's do the next one. We're going cultural now, then.
Okay, let's do it.
A cultural break. A tarot deck that represents something of culture.
Do you want to go first?
You go first, because I can't remember which one I picked.
So I like history, and I went for the Shakespeare Oracle.
Oh,
because we've got like Stratford upon Avon, haven't we here?
Yes,
in the UK.
I love Stratford. Yeah,
and I love a little bit of history, and I love Shakespeare stuff. So this is called an Oracle deck, but it is actually a tarot.
Is it?
I'll show you. Yeah, it's weird because it's called Shakespeare Oracle, but it's actually a tarot. But I love the artwork and stuff.
Yeah,
that's Queen Elizabeth I.
Yeah.
Henry VIII, and I love Tudors as well. That's another thing. I was obsessed with the Tudors growing up. I loved them. I wanted to get every book on them because I thought it was fascinating. The only thing is with this deck, it's a bit of a pit deck.
I wonder if I've seen it as a pip deck. Well, the pip like just.
It's not too bad. I mean, like you've got like
the
chalices, but they've actually got words as well.
And
it's like
quotes and things.
A quote, which relates to the card. So that's quite cool. But yeah, it's very pippish. And they're kind of oracle size cards.
They look big cards.
Yeah, they're huge. Not the easiest to shuffle, but yeah. So I went for that. I did choose another one as well, Rich.
Go for it. Show us that one.
And that was because I'm interested in all sorts of history, but I chose the Ancient Egyptian Tarot by Clive Barrett. And these went out of print, but they're actually back in print now because he's he's actually
told off by Ren, by the way.
Hey, now some of us love pip decks. It's true. Well, they're not too bad actually for pips. Actually, but yeah, I love Egyptian mythology and things like that. I've always wanted to go to Egypt and see the. My friend went actually when we were at school, and she absolutely loved it. But I'm fascinated by their culture and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
that's lovely.
Definitely would love to go to Egypt. But yeah,
I was planning to try and go to Egypt for my 50th, and that was a couple of years ago. So of course I could. And I keep thinking I must organise that because that was always going to be my big 50th. But I'd like to go and do the Nile and look at all the temples and stuff.
Yes, absolutely, Richard. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Just having a look. People here. Revival Tarot, first edition. Gorgeous historical paintings there.
Yes, love that.
It's quite a hard category I found because there was quite a few decks I could have picked here. It says I'm from Long Island, Miss Seasons, I think. Yep. And I don't know what this means, but I'm not sure if we've been forgiven or not.
Sorry, Ran. I know. I'm pip decks. I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
I don't tend to read with pip decks because I'm not a kind of. I'm not going down the Marseille road just yet.
No. Yeah, that's
another. But I do have some that I really like, and some of the decks that I often pick up and might just use the mages from them. So something like Tarot, the Witch's Tarot, is that the one I'm thinking of? The James Bond one, because that's
yes, yeah, that's the one, Richard. I love that. I've really got into that, but again, it's pip. It's a pip deck, isn't it?
Make a good one, the Venetian Tarot. Yeah,
that looks lovely.
Yeah. There's lots of nice ones. Do you know, I wanted to find a deck that I thought I had, which was something to do with Greek mythology, and there are ones. There's the oh gosh, I've forgotten what's the famous Greek myths. I've forgotten the name of it, but I couldn't find anything that was kind of like the architecture and that side of it, or the mythic tarot. I'm thinking of. So I've gone for something a little bit outside the box with this one for my choice. I've gone for the Architect's Tarot.
Oh,
because when I go on holiday, I do like a bit of history, but I also like to look at buildings, and particularly really old buildings.
You do, don't you? I've noticed
things like sculpture and stuff like that. So I picked this one because it's just a bit unusual. And now, this was a Kickstarter. I quite like the fact here, it's really white. They've got coloured borders to suggest what the suits are. But I like the fact that it's all to do with landscapes, buildings in the landscapes and the people, and these really big statues, which remind me a little bit of like ancient Greece.
Yeah.
And I think some of these cards were used in the Alleyman's Tarot. I think those were.
Yes.
So, but this is the actual.
I like that, I must say.
It's really nice. I don't use it as much as I thought I would. Not because I don't love it, but it doesn't jump off the shelf. You know, like when you go to find a deck.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm not quite sure what I would actually reading. It doesn't make you work this deck for itself, but yeah.
I like that, Rich. Do you know there was a Greek deck on Kickstarter recently, but it was only mages, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, again, it was majors, and I thought, no, I just want 78 of them.
Yeah, exactly. I want all 78.
I mean, this is typically really nice. So that's it's got really nice. This is the first deck I ever got that had like gilding on the edges of it.
You've got such an eclectic collection, haven't you? Every time I just see something I've never seen.
I try to. Not that I just buy stuff that interests me, and I know that's what most people do. But I have to look through the whole deck, and I often think about, would I use it? Is it something that interests me? And is it something I just like to look at the pictures of? And I bought this a long time ago when I was just having a bit of mental issues,
Yeah.
and I wanted this just to. I didn't want something that had lots of people in it. I just needed
Yeah.
some spaces to get into, and so I bought
Actually,
this, and it really helped when I was dealing with some of my issues.
I was going to say, Richie, isn't that a really good conversation to have on a live one day
Yeah,
about how we buy decks when we're in certain kinds of moods? So,
yeah,
like, sometimes if you're in a bit of a dark mood, you just want to read with a dark deck, or
yeah,
it's funny. And like you
yeah.
saying there about that one, because that's quite abstract, isn't it? In
It's
certain ways.
really abstract. It's almost like that artist. Do you remember? Do you know Escher, the one that did
Yeah.
all the steps and things? It's got a hint of that to it, and that's
Mm,
quite nice.
yeah.
Sometimes you just want to get into a space where you can just kind of explore it, and it's really good for like stepping into cards as well. That
Yeah.
one. So I don't know if it's available still. I don't know what's happened, whether there's going to be a new edition or if people can get it. I don't think there was many made in the Kickstarter, but it is
No,
a really lovely deck, that one. So
it's really
I'm
nice.
pleased to have that one in my collection.
Definitely.
Okay, we are waiting for confirmation via email of an appointment to meet a potential new furry
Oh,
family member.
that's exciting, Kelly.
That is nice. I'm very pleased to hear that. Um, and hi there, pre-Raphaelite. I can't speak today. The pre.
Yes.
Thank you for that one. Beth would have gone Vision Quest.
Yes. Love that one.
And if I had the runes deck, that would be good for delving into Norse myth.
Myth, I
Thank
like
you, get the
it.
mythic. Thank you there. Yeah. Liz Green's deck.
Yeah.
Klimt would be a really good one. There's lots of love. I mean, all those lovely art decks that there are.
Oh,
So many wonderful choices there.
it astounds me how many.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying it astounds me how many there are decks that keep coming up, you've never heard
I
of.
think it's probably a lot more based on artists. If you think about all the different start, I don't see many impressionists, like the Monets and all that. I don't remember
No.
around that. That'd have been nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. They'll soon come round though, I'm sure of it.
Yeah. There's a thought anyone wants to make a deck out there. There you go.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying it's exciting, Kelly. Wishing you all the best with that one there. Hope you get a good match there. And Beth says, it's so true. I've found that if I buy happy decks when I'm down, I end up never using. Yeah, I do. Absolutely right.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I know, like, I mean, I had a bit of a thing where I was buying like Ozzy Osbourne records. I was in a really down moment, and I was like, I fancy some dark decks. I want to listen to Ozzy Osbourne. But it's just what mood takes you at the time, isn't it? Sometimes, and
you can grow out of a phase as well. As
you
like,
can.
Oh, my decks. You remember when I first met you? All really dark and soulless in many ways.
Yeah, dark soul.
And dark soul. And now I've gone for really quite colourful ones. So perhaps again it shows my progression out of that one.
Yeah. It is like a storybook in itself.
Let's have a look. What's the one with all the great landscape paintings in it? It's out of print.
I know Lisa Hunt's brought one out, hasn't she? That's got landscape in. I don't know any others.
I can't think. Oh, look, two of my favourite people. Oh, thank you.
Oh, Kelly.
Majestic or something like that. Yeah, I can't think of what it's called.
Yeah. Oh, the Majestic Earth, is it, or something like that? Oh no, I don't know if that's.
I'm rubbish at remembering names of decks.
I know. Just show me one card and I can tell you what it is. But
but try and conjure them out of there. It's called the something tarot. Do you know what?
Yeah, if it's got, as long as it's cards, I can tell you what it is. But yeah.
One at the last. Hi there, Don. I got one at the last available seconds. Yeah, there you go, Majestic Earth. There.
Yeah.
Can remember the second word.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back to holidays, Ben.
Yes.
If you could go anywhere in the world right now on a holiday for a week or so, where would you plan to go?
Oh, I'd love to go to New York City.
Would you?
I would love to go there. It's on the bucket list. But yeah, I'd love to go there. I've always wanted to visit that, and I think it's because of Home Alone. I loved watching Home Alone 2, and yeah, I think it was always a dream as a kid, and it's just never gone really. And especially you know, the size of the buildings. I'd just love to see, you know, because we don't get that kind of thing around here, do we, in the UK? They're not that big.
No.
But yeah. How about you, Richie? Where would you
I'm
like
trying to
to
think now. I just thought I've asked that question. You're going to ask
go?
me.
Yeah.
I really want to go to Jerusalem.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I was trying to go this year with my sister. Don't know if we're going to be successful with it. I know it looks like there's problems even
Yeah,
today on
I
the
know.
news, things that happen in there. Where would I want to go?
Are you
New
interested?
Zealand? I don't know.
Yeah. Are you interested in like the biblical lands?
Yeah, I'd like to go just
Yeah.
for the history. I'm not going for particularly religious reasons, although
No.
I think it'd be really interesting to see the
Yeah.
places of the Bible, you
Yeah.
know, there. And
Yeah.
I'd be really
Same.
interested to see what the energies are and what the
Yeah.
vibes are. And I'm very interested in why people go to these places and what they get out of them.
Yeah.
And I'd be open for anything. I mean, I'm not saying
Yeah.
I would go and come back, you know, with changed ideas. Absolutely. But it's just in the last few years, I've just really wanted to go to Jerusalem and just see all
Yeah.
the old buildings and do all those. Yeah, I think
I wanted to ask you, Richie, because I'm really interested, and this is like totally not exotic or anything. This was a holiday, and it's not really a holiday, but I've always wanted to go somewhere like, you know, I love horror films, guys, and poltergeist and things like that, and horror and haunted ghosts and things like that. They let you stay, don't they, here in a place called 30 East Drive, which is where it was based off a film.
yes.
And it's a true story about a poltergeist here. And you can go and stay in the actual house, can't you, for like however long. I'd love to get a group of people and spend a night there, I would. Would you?
I love things like that.
I do. And I think with a
I
group of
don't
you.
know how I feel about going with people I know because I don't know. It's a different experience if you went with a lot of people who you didn't know.
Yeah, true.
But actually, I think it could be quite a lot of fun.
I think it would be fun. Yeah, I'd love to do that. You know, if you fancy doing it,
absolutely, count me in if you want to
yeah,
organise.
yeah, because I'd love to do it, and I'd want to go obviously with people, like-minded people who want
Yeah.
to, you know, because I just would find that fascinating. And there's loads of people do like lives on it and stuff on YouTube,
Yeah.
don't they? And they go there and stuff.
So
But
can you hire like the house for like a night then?
yeah, you can do. I mean, at Halloween they do like, you know, you can stay over and there's like a tour guide and stuff like that. But you can stay over on your own there, and loads of people have
I
stayed
wouldn't
over
want
there
to
on
do
their
that.
own.
I don't think.
I wouldn't want to do that. But it's like it's a semi-detached house, but it's like, yeah, I just, you can stay for a week, however long you want, really. It's just like you just book it like you would a normal cottage, I think. But I just love to experience it.
Yeah.
So,
You'd have to take lots of equipment and lots of cards and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do lots of sort of little experiments.
I couldn't do it on my own, Rich. I'd have to go with a few people.
And I think I would also need to go with somebody who would know what to do as a protection.
Yeah, definitely. There is that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd need Gerald, wouldn't you, really?
We would need Gerald
to come over.
come and
Gerald?
throw some salt around
Yeah.
and do wonderful things. I think. Yeah.
Definitely.
No, yeah, it absolutely fascinates me. There's a series of programs here called "Help My House Is Haunted." Have you seen those?
Yes, I love
And
it.
there's some really good stuff that's come out of that, and I quite like the way they do their program, and they sort of move the spirits on if they want to go at the end of it. It's done quite sympathetically rather than some other programs like that, which are a bit just different in style, let's put it that way. But
but
no, that would make a good mini break, wouldn't it?
I would love it. Yeah, we'll have to sort that.
Have you ever stayed over like somewhere really old and kind of?
No, and I've always like, I did stay over at a cottage once, and it was ever so weird because that particular night as well, we had a thunderstorm, and just weird stuff happened there. And it was a very old cottage. Like the radio would come on by itself. My brother would be playing music, and it would just switch off, as if someone had switched it off, and it was really cold in the hallway, and it just had an uneasy feeling. And you know when you're in a room and you feel like someone's watching you or someone's there, but there's nobody in the room. It was just very uneasy in like the downstairs area. But that's all I've ever experienced. How about you, Rich? Have you ever like been anywhere like that where you've
I've been to a
experienced?
couple of places where I've walked in and the vibe is just completely different to the rest of the buildings.
Yeah.
I've been to I went to a bar once, actually, at like I say a bar, it was a building that was used for other purposes before it was a pub, and got a really odd sense of somebody being really upset from a previous era there.
Spooky.
Yeah, I quite like to stay in old buildings and feel the vibes of it there. I stayed in a lovely a four-poster bed in near Avebury once, but it was supposed to be a haunted room, but
Didn't expect it.
nothing happened. I was so tired from the journey, I slept there anyway, I think. Just catching up with the comments. Yes, I'm with Kelly on the 22nd. That's going to be exciting. Callers just saying Florence. That's the place that would like to go there.
I love it.
Place full of art and culture there. Marit says Vancouver.
Oh yes, Vancouver.
Some of the paintings of the majestic earth from near where I grew up. Donna, that's lovely.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Goa for some beautiful drawing. I'd quite like to go to Goa just to do a full-on not yoga. I don't think I'm very good at yoga, but meditation and a kind of detox. I'd like to do that, I think. And Beth says Jordan is supposed to be amazing. I've been for a day trip to Jordan.
Oh, nice. Did
you
enjoy it?
Oh, it was fabulous. We did Petra, the big to the rocks.
Yeah.
So I was in Egypt and we went across the Red Sea to a day out in Jordan, and it was fascinating, beautiful. Really liked the country, really lovely. Yeah.
Wow.
Kelly's saying need to get in touch, come up with something.
Yes, absolutely, Kelly. That'd be lovely.
Yeah. It's religious, but it's historical. Jerusalem, yeah. And Kelly wants to come to England. You're more than welcome.
I've told her she's got to. She loves Coronation Street, you say. So, got to come over.
Coronation Street.
Yeah, we will. We can actually take that, Kelly.
I want to go to Norway. My granddad's from, see the fjord and the Northern Lights. Oh my God, that'd be amazing. I've always wanted to see the Northern Lights.
Me too.
To Iceland for a few days, and we went to they weren't there to play that night, so rather sadly, but I would love to see the Northern Lights. Yeah. Seeing the Aurora Borealis is on my bucket list, yeah.
Yes.
Beth says you should go to New Orleans. It's extremely haunted city in the US. Yeah, fabulous food. Just don't go in the summer.
I'll check that out. Thank you, Beth.
Calla says I'd freak myself out if I went alone. You need the pants.
Yeah. So, that's true, Tony. Make sure you bring it back.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Hudson Valley is so pretty too. Yeah. With lovely comments. Oh, there's loads more. Ren would like to go to Norway. Norway looks fantastic.
Yeah, that's another nice place.
Very pricey. I did go look at Norway. It's really pricey if it's coming from the UK, unfortunately.
That's the only trouble, isn't it?
It's like Iceland was really expensive. I mean, super. That's not a reason to go, but it was a bit.
It's like takes your breath away. Grab your pearl moment.
How much for a cauliflower? Donna says I've been to places that should be haunted, but I've never experienced anything. I must be too close. Perhaps it just wasn't the right time.
No, yeah, and I do think that is a thing. I think it's certain times of the year or certain moon phases. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right. All sorts of things can be.
Yeah,
and not just the building, but how you are or how people have been around it. It's all sorts of things. The cold is a dead giveaway. Cold spots are spooky. You are so right there. I did a kind of it wasn't an overnight, but a late night ghost hunty thing in a nearby building here, which was owned by Anna Cleves. It was one of the properties Anna Cleves, one of the wives of Henry VIII, had. So it's really, really old. And we did an overnight. And at one point, we were all standing around in a circle holding hands. There must have been 10 or 12 of us. And I stand holding hands with this person. I don't know what her name. I'd never met her before. And both of us at the same time shivered. And it was like somebody had opened a freezer door where we were standing. And so I know that's exactly right what you're saying there, because I've experienced that.
They say that, don't they?
Yeah. It's EastEnders, by the way.
Oh, it was one of them, get it?
Yeah, she wants to do a live for 3 of us together.
Oh, that would be lovely. We should do that. Yeah. I'd love that. I really would love
that. Beth would like to go to Peru, visit the ruins, and stop
in Shaman.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind that as well.
Yeah, let's get $1 million. The mini cruise to the Baltics and fjords is it really fantastic? Oh, thank you for that one. Perhaps I'll have a look at that one. And San Francisco has a wonderful spooky history too. The San Francisco ghost is amazing.
Beth, you seem to know all the places to go. I need to write this down.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Anna Cleves made out the best. She certainly did. She's the one that came out best of all. Absolutely.
And you know what? He divorced her because she was ugly, and I don't think she was. Because they've tried to reconstruct who she was, and she wasn't ugly at all. And it's interesting, isn't it?
And let's face it, he was no oil painting at that point.
No, at that point. No, exactly. Could hardly walk, could he, at that point?
Yeah. But no, part of the divorce settlement was she got lots of houses. So she got this little place in Lewis. I don't think she ever went there, to be brutally honest. But it's one of these really old sort of Tudor beams and, one of those very uneven floors and all that sort of stuff. But really interesting, really, really interesting.
Fascinating, isn't it?
Ruta says, I've been to Riga, Latvia, where parents are from. It's a beautiful city. Yeah, well, there's area around there. It's absolutely fantastic. Oh, it makes me really want to go visiting, talking about all of these.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. And Calla says he was old, fat, and smelly with a wound in his leg. Henry VIII, I think we're talking about here.
I hope so. Is that right?
Yeah. Kelly says Alcatraz is awesome. It is. I've done the Alcatraz tour. It's very spooky, actually. I have to say that was very atmospheric going around Alcatraz. And Ben, you're king of horror. The Lost Boys.
Oh, I love the Lost Boys. Oh, Tony, yes.
It's a big anniversary of the Lost Boys.
It is. Has it been 30 or 40 years?
40 years.
I won't be surprised if it's 40 now.
Yeah.
80s.
I've got to say this. I'm very excited. Do you know what I'm doing this week?
What are you doing?
It's the 25th anniversary of Titanic, the film Titanic. I'm going to see it in 3D.
Oh, let me grab my pearls. Oh my God. Oh, yeah.
I really can't.
The heart of the ocean, yeah.
I love it. Sorry. We need to get back on the holiday thing.
What's in that Britney song where she says, I thought you chucked it into the ocean at the end? And he's like, baby, I went and got it for you. Oh, you shouldn't have. I love it. Titanic's brilliant, though.
Oh, I can't wait to go and see it. I was a bit obsessed by it when it came out. I think I saw it 12 times.
My mum's friend was obsessed by it. She went to see it about 12 times. And I was like, bloody hell, when she said, I was like, she's going to see it again. It's like,
I pretty much can quote the film, which...
Okay, now we're getting a bit, We'll have words after.
Yeah. Beth says the most intense experience was at Chillingham Castle. I've never been to Chillingham Castle. And Ren says, got relatives who went down on the Titanic. Oh,
that's
but it's nice to have a link there in there.
But
interesting what you think about the film then. I'd be interested to know.
Have you got the Titanic tarot deck, Richie?
I do, at second edition Titanic.
Yeah.
I was thinking get that one out. Actually, I haven't looked at it since I bought it.
Yeah, me too. Maybe we should get it out on a live together and actually rekindle
Yes,
it.
we could do
We
that one
should.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite the story. Oh, quite the story. Fantastic. I know, that's amazing. Amazing story, amazing connection there. And Leo was pretty in those days.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Okay, where do we get to? Right, we've just done culture.
Yeah.
A relaxation holiday. We need to speed this one up then.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Speed it
That's
up. Having a lovely time. We don't get through them all. That's
no,
fine.
no. We're having
Okay,
too much of a good time. That's the problem.
but that's what we're here for, to have a good time.
True.
So we talked about Goa. I talked about Goa and
Yeah.
relaxation and all that one. A deck for you that represents a relaxing holiday.
I like to read like a book or something. I have something really quiet, and I thought what represented that to me. I've got 2 decks again, but I think definitely the spacious tarot, because it's space, isn't it? Sometimes you need in life to get away. And what I loved about this deck was this was a deck that I used a lot when I wanted to just meditate and be on my own and just have a bit of space from things, because it's got no people in it, and I really liked that about it.
Yeah.
But it still speaks to me. This deck does, and I just really like that. So this kind of represented that again in a way, that relaxation, putting yourself in the deck as well. And a very similar one to that is the Tarot of Oneness. Which is another one.
I really like that deck.
I love it.
Yeah.
Have you? Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? And again, you're kind of like the other person in the deck, aren't you? You're like, and
you often see the feet or the hands or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah.
It's very much a deck that you put yourself in. You can put like this one for, and it's not a very nice card, but what it is, it's just that really, feels like you, doesn't it?
It's really well done. It's got the right energy of the 5, isn't it?
And like even that 6 of Pentacles, you're looking at that other person. You know, it's just I just really like it. I'm sure everybody's seen this one, to be honest.
It's a beautiful deck. Popular. I need to again. I've so many lovely decks,
isn't it? It's true, isn't it? And this is why I struggle with depth years.
Well, this is going to speed things up because I also happen to pick the Spacious Tarot, because that's the only other.
Oh.
But I did go for a second option because I was like, is this a bit too?
Yeah, I know.
So when it's about relaxing, yes, I absolutely agree. So I'm also going to go with Light Seers.
I love that one.
Well, it's a deck. I always kind of struggled a bit with the Light Seers. I came into tarot and everyone was raving about it, and I didn't have a copy of it. So you know what these images look like. I don't need to show you them, but you know it has got that certain relaxation. You can almost hear the wind chimes in the background when you look at these cards, and you know all the characters in here are just on the whole generally relaxed, and you know they're a typical, you know, that's a really lovely relaxation, meditative yoga kind of pose there. So again, I always think it's a really nice energy with this deck. Beautifully.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? Have you edged yours, Richie?
I didn't. This is a deck Sandra gave me, this deck, and she done a fantastic job of it. So and actually I had an old copy of it that got damaged, and I've used this deck that Sandra gave me much more than the original one. So it's really nice to have that one. So thank you, Sandra, if you're watching. I'll catch this one at some point. So thank you for that one. Gosh, there's lots of comments here, which is great. Thank you. Anyone else think Ben should just throw the cupboards open and expose his decks in all their glory?
Do you know, that's so funny? I was watching, Tony, your video last night, actually, when she did a deck walkthrough. She did a walkthrough of her space, and she was showing her decks. And I thought, when I watched it, I was like, oh, I'd like to do that. So you've inspired me there, Tony. I may do that.
Yeah. I just see Ranger said, I must say I wasn't thrilled that they made a musical out of Titanic. Yeah. It seemed that they did put an awful lot on there. He says, my water's broken the cinema. I was watching the Titanic. Wow.
Well, yeah. I mean, what can you say to that?
Oh, and Kelly says we have to meet and agree, confirm for Monday 9 a.m. for the Pusscat. So lovely. Is Pusscat a dog? Cat, isn't it?
Cat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
And yep, I have to recall the metaphysical cannabis oracle for this one. Yeah. And Donna says open Tarot the Oneness is on my wish list. I think it's sometime. You won't, I'm not here to sell decks, but it's a wonderful deck.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed with that one, I don't think.
Colour would go Tarot de Saint-Croix. Can't say that.
Yes, I like that. Quack.
It fits my jam, my life. Well, I hope you get it. It's a beautiful deck. Yeah, it is a beautiful deck. Karen said, I got the Light Sears at Christmas finally, and it's really lovely. It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a lovely one.
Light Sears is the Coachella deck. Yeah.
Everybody loves that one, don't they? Like,
everyone's sending Kelly lots of best wishes. That's really nice. She's gone to tell her husband the good news. So, great step. Oh. Right, I'm just conscious of time, Ben. We've got I think the hardest one coming up now. Okay.
Oh yes.
Okay. So this is number 5 of our tarot holiday. This is what I'm calling the lads' weekend. Now, before we go any further, it doesn't have to be a lads' weekend, but what I meant by this, it's the kind of brash, loud, raucous, perhaps alcohol-fueled kind of party, a little bit naughty as well. Let's put that one in there. So that's how I'm describing lads' weekend. If you want to change that and put it into a different context, hen party, whatever it is you want to do, but it's got that vibe of something that's a bit loud, a bit in your face. And
a bit naughty.
Bit naughty, yeah. I'm going to let you go first on this one.
I thought you might say that. So
yeah,
I was looking for a filthy deck, and I just haven't got one, Richie. Would you believe that?
I don't believe that.
Oh, you throw me into the buzz there, Mr. So I went for the safe option. And I've got I thought this was very laddie weekend, and I actually saw a card that reminded me of a friend when you get friends. So it's called the Amiga Land.
Oh, nice one. Yeah.
And it's very felt very laddie, but the one that captured me when I thought of this was the 3 of Cups in this one. I can find it. Okay. Which was it feels very like laddie, having a drink, that one. But really. I felt like this was a lads' weekend, it's very, I don't know, just out and about. Some of it's a bit graphic, but it's different. Love it. It's a bit of a, that kind of, a bit weird there, but I don't know what the hell is going on there. But she is not happy with him. Yeah, marital issues maybe. But yeah, so I thought that was a proper lad one. And nice. What was another? No, it was just that one I chose. And I did choose another one, Richie, because I thought if you're on a lads' weekend or you want some fun, don't you? And I thought, well, maybe you might want to go to a circus. So I was like, get the Legrand circus.
That's a naughty circus, like a burlesque kind of.
Oh well, your mind goes to wonderful places, doesn't it? But it's not a burlesque kind of one. It's just a normal circus.
I love it.
But yeah, that kind
That's
of
lovely.
Weird and wonderful thing. So yeah,
they look big cards as well.
Yeah, they're a bit oracly, I must admit.
They're oracly.
But I love circuses. I used to love watching films with circuses.
Yeah,
they've always fascinated me. So that's what I would choose for those anyway. How about you?
I would go for Deviant Moon. Triumphi de Luna, good choice there. Now there were several decks I could have gone for this
yes, one. Some that haven't arrived yet as well.
My idea of a lads' weekend may be different to how other viewers may see a lads' weekend, but if I was growing up, it would be a wild night out in Brighton, perhaps lots of drinking and partying and things like that. So I decided to tailor my choices. I put away the St. Jinx decks and I put away the Tarorama. And I have gone for the Divine Diversity tarot
Oh
deck.
yes.
Yeah, it's full of 6-packs, let's be honest. And of course, that's if you happen to be going. But I quite like how everybody's having a really great time in this deck. So there you go. 3 of Cups is a real cheerful. Sorry, my camera's really badly at focusing today.
That's nice.
So, and then you get some rather lovely images like that. Yeah, it's body beautiful, but yeah, that's what it is.
It looks like you, Richie, on a Saturday night.
Just like, I really actually quite like this 9 of Cups, which is a self-portrait of the artist that made the deck there, Joe Phillips. But yeah, it's just obviously very gay friendly. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It came under quite a lot of comments because it was called Divine Diversity, and then it was said it wasn't actually very diverse. But as a deck, it just is quite nice. It's a bit naughty. It's a bit full on. It's a bit over the top. It's a bit loud. It's a bit in your face. So there we go. And actually, that's probably one of the tamer of the decks. Having said that, there is another St. Jinx. The new St. Jinx tarot deck is making its way over to these shores as we speak. So we need to be getting to have a look at that one at some point.
Yes, I was going to say you're going to show us that one, Richie.
I will when it's yes, with carefully placed fingers, I think.
Yeah.
Dear. Gilded Tarot Royals apart. Do you know what? I did think of that one as well. Curious Creatures is a lot of fun as well. Good choices there. Tarot Avarata or the Bonefire. Absolutely good choices.
I love that.
I saw a cool circus theme oracle at NPC that would go well with that deck, man. There you go. Get yourself an NPC after this. 6-packs are very easy on the eyes. That's important with a party and tarot deck. Absolutely. If you're going, if you're going to go to a party, capital, somewhere like that, people do parade around, don't they? Showing off their best assets and stuff. I think I put that in a nice way there. Groovy Weight is a quite fun. Do you know what's a really good choice there?
Oh, absolutely. I love that one.
Really lovely. Hello to you, my lovely.
Hello, Gerald.
See you here. Ben, how many biscuits do you eat per life?
I've bought 4 today, Tony, but I usually have like 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, and 4 at night. So that's 12, isn't it? Is that a lot? At least they're not like custard creams because they're really quite sugary, aren't they?
I'm just moving on from this conversation. Do you know what?
It's all about biscuits. It's all about the biscuit.
And Don's made a good point. No coincidence that Gerald turns up during the
He heard the name St. Jinx, and that was it.
There you go. I wanted to see the St. Jinx. And yes, Ben, you need another tarot.
It's true. Or I think you're right there, Gerald.
So that's not allowed. Have you ever been on a kind of loud weekend?
Would you believe it? No, but I've been on a hen do. I mean, isn't that crazy? Yeah.
I've been on a hen do.
It was amazing though. I loved it. It was like she invited me and I was like, oh, is there going to be any of the men there? She's like, oh no, just you. And I was like, oh, okay. But I loved it. I had a great time with them. It was like, yeah.
When I was young, when I just finished my A levels, I and a friend, we booked one of those last minute places to go. And we ended up going to somewhere on roads, Faliraki, which at the time was the big, before Kavos and all those places, it was the big, and they had the strip with all the bars in and everyone.
Yeah.
And as 2 young gay men turning up in Faliraki, which is very, very, very straight, it was like, what have we done? So what, we had the best time. We just got really into it and just kind of thought you can't beat them, join them, and we made lots of really good friends there, and it was a lot of fun, and it was a really. I'm not going to say it was a particularly bits of it were wild, but do you know what I mean? It was just fun to go and experience at that age all the kind of.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Have you ever seen the In-Betweeners film when they go?
Yes.
It was a little
I
bit
love it.
like
Was it like that?
that.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it.
Hello, Tracy. Lovely to see you. Hello, anyone else that's come in and I've missed you. I'm sorry if I missed you. Anyone
Tracy.
back. Great to see you. We're on a tarot holiday. In fact, we're on to our last bit coming up now, Ben.
We
And this
are.
is the one that I found. I don't know. I did a lot of thinking about this one.
I know. I
The
did as
last one is
well.
your dream holiday, a deck that represents your dream holiday. Or put another way, if you had to spend a week in a deck,
Yes.
you know,
Where
step
would it
into
be?
it, live in it, what deck would it be?
So I've got two again, Richard. I'm sorry. I'm overachieving.
Well, it's fine. It's fine.
I would love to go to New York, and this jumps to mind is the Midnight City Tarot. And this is like stepping into that New York vibe. And the Midnight City Tarot is also very 80s and synthy, it feels to me. I'll just show if you can't.
Yeah.
So definitely this one.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I love the colours as well, and it's just very city-esque, and it just remind me of like New York City, like the chewing gum. I think that's chewing gum. But yeah, so there was
Cool.
that for the for that kind of vibe. And the next one, the deck that I would love to walk into, is an oracle deck, and it's this one. I know, and it's called the Arboretum. And
I've seen you with this one. I like this one.
I love this deck, and if I could walk into any world of the tarot decks or oracle decks I've got, it's this one, because Jackie and Phil Lovezy just create such a magical world with this deck, and it is one of my top 5 favorite world and decks. And I just love all the like little creatures and characters they've got, like that little thing there. It's just really cute.
Is it just one keyword on it? I'm just trying to work out.
Sorry, yeah, just one keyword. Like, but it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's just really, and they're actually bringing out. They've got a number of decks, but this is one of my favourites. They're coming out with another one called the Magical Cottage or something on Kickstarter soon. Yeah, I just love this.
Let me know when that goes live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like broomsticks and all that kind of stuff. And
Root has got a couple of fairy decks I like to spend time in.
Yeah.
Ren says, I love that deck. And Kathy says, I love the Midnight City deck. I've never seen it before. And yeah, Tracy goes, that is nice. And Tony says that cottage art looks really good.
It does, Tony.
Up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Beth says, I'd like to spend a week in the Green Witch Tarot.
Yeah.
So, what do you reckon mine would be?
I don't know. I mean,
I'll give you a clue. This is what it sounds like.
I'm not quite sure what that.
I'll give you another clue.
Oh, the broken.
I picked the broken mirror because I just have.
Oh, Richie, yes. Can I ask you a question? Because we met through this deck.
We met. This deck
we did. It brought us together, and because they've done the 5th edition, haven't they? Yes. You always like that edition, though, don't you? That one's your favourite.
You know what I looked through when I was picking this one. I went through all the 5th edition versions that I've got, and I still went back to the 4th edition because I just absolutely love the iconography. I love the colours. I love those blues.
I have it out on my desk, actually.
Yeah, there you go.
I know.
And it's got that fairy. And the more I look at it, and the more I just go, even like the cards, like the Death card and the Devil card.
I know.
Do you know, Richard? And kind of, I was talking about that kind of Greek vibe, you know, what I was talking about earlier. It's got all of that in there. It's got everything.
I remember you used to paste readings with it, didn't you, on Facebook? And I remember seeing them and thinking, oh my gosh, where did he get that deck from? Because I'd never seen it anywhere. And it is such a beautiful deck, that is.
And this is my favourite one, the 4th edition. I would never, ever part with it. So
Man, it's
there we go.
special, isn't it? I love that deck too.
So the Alchemist Tarot is vibrant and sunny. I nearly picked that one as well.
Yeah.
I did have it out. In fact, it's up on the mantelpiece just there somewhere.
I've not seen. Have I seen that deck, Alchemist's Tarot? Actually, I can't think.
To show you after the live.
Yeah, do.
But yeah, the Alchemist Tarot is again. It's got the same kind of lively color. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, that is a storybook deck. If I know Debbie loves the Broken Mirror. I know. Yeah. Thank you very much. The Whispers of Lord Ganesha has lush. It does really nice, and I nearly picked the Location Tarot as well.
Oh, that's a lovely one. That is.
That is nice. Do you know what? I've never read with it. I look at it, but I've never read with it. There's something about it that I can't quite get.
But this is the thing, you see, because I always say this to people. Sometimes decks aren't. Sometimes I've got decks in my collection that I don't read with. I just like to look through them, and I think that's okay as well. You know, just to have decks that you look through. In fact, most of my collection's like that. But I do like the art.
Well, that's what it's about, isn't it? And I mean, that's the thing that has to, when you're reading, that's the thing that has to kick in. Look at the artwork, and that's the bit you do the reading with. And it might be that that's not, as we said earlier, that might not be working at that moment, but that's not to say in a little while or perhaps later on that could kick in. Or it might never kick in, but you've still got some very nice cards to look at.
Yeah, definitely.
Or sell later on if you didn't want them.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. They'll just have a little nest egg.
They're like adult picture books. Yes, absolutely.
It's true, Marita.
It's been really interesting to go back and look at some older decks that I haven't picked up for. I mean, the Architect's Tarot, I couldn't find it. It was that much dust underneath, over the top of it. So, you know, it's been interesting to go back and have a good look at them all.
It's great to rediscover decks, though, isn't it? That you've kind of put to the back of your cupboard and you come.
I might keep these out actually, because I haven't I've been working with the Tarot Oneness.
Yeah,
and that's all. Not much.
I know.
Because of the Wildwood, I've been doing lots of stuff with that. So I haven't got time to go back and work.
It's nice to do that, isn't it? Though, and rediscover decks like that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really sorry if I really made you want to go on holiday now. That's not bad, and I think that's important this time of year, isn't it? To go.
Yeah, I think it's about time. Everybody wants to go
here to plan wonderful stuff and do lots of lovely things. So, so if you fancy doing a VR response to it, let's put the thing back up. Find the banner. It's hashtag Tarot Holiday. Love to know your comments underneath the video, or put it on Facebook if you want to. I'll try and remember to put the 6 prompts on there. I'll probably forget, so you know, do excuse me if I do that. But Ben, thank you so much for spending time with me.
Oh, you're welcome. Lovely. I've loved it, Rich, and it's been such a fun tag to do as well, and it's been lovely catching up with you as well.
It's been nice to go back and have a look at some old, go through the collection a bit like that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. We needed to do that, didn't we?
Where will the prompts be? I will try and put them underneath this video once it kicks into YouTube at the moment, but I'll put them under there, and I'll also pop them onto the Facebook page as well. So if you want to catch them on there.
I'd be interested to see what other people's decks are actually. It'd be really good to see that.
Does anyone know when the next wild is? That's the one we're doing. I think it's going to be once we've got through the air suit, which will be around Beltane time. So we're probably talking May time on that one. But I'm sure people will be popping on to talk about stuff as well. So yeah. But yeah, that was good fun, wasn't it? Carla says I'll have to break out a few more decks now. There you go. Go and explore some of the old ones there. Those ones that were in suitcases and boxes under the bed. You know that you've got them there.
We've all got them.
We've all got them.
Confessions of a Tarot person.
Hi Gina, I didn't get mine. I'm sorry to hear that, but lovely you could join us at the last bit. You can always catch it on replay. Ben, have you got much coming up in the next couple of weeks?
I haven't actually, guys. I've been trying to film videos. So there's like a few decks I've had that are new that I'm trying to do some flip throughs of. I'm trying to work with a deck each month instead of buying. I thought I'm going to try and work with the ones that I've got. So I'm trying to just do like a flip through of the ones that I'm working with each month. So I shall probably continue doing that. But no, how about you? What have you got coming up?
I've got a few bits coming up. I'm sorry, I'm with Kelly at some point.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got much coming up because I'm off work for a week, and I've got bits and pieces going on. But I'm going to be popping up, I think, on quite a few bits. And when I get bored, I'm probably going to just pop on and come on for a chat. So, but I've got nothing seriously penciled in the next few weeks or so. But there is stuff coming up. So keep watching, keep like and subscribe. That's what we have to say to all you.
Yes.
Like and subscribe, and then you hit the alarm bell button thing, and hopefully you'll get a reminder when it comes on. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Tony's looking forward to your desk.
Oh, yes, Tony, I'll do that. She inspired me when she did hers, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So,
yeah.
I like that one.
They pop up in the most unlikely places. I'm surprised they're not in the fridge. I like that one there. Tracy, enjoy your weekend too. Thank you to everybody. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend. And Ben, I've just got to remember how to do the last bit.
Fine. I'll carry on talking. Thanks.
You carry on talking. Look at your lovely face for a moment. There you go.